Hey guys, not sure who's here, but we'll get started on this Sunday night. I see my dog. There's like this dog, which someone knitted for me. You know who you are, and I love you. And then there's real dogs. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a week this week, hasn't it? Yeah, I had to take my dog in for some surgery. Really minor stuff, but definitely, you know, definitely took some time out of the week and some stress and all that fun stuff. So I'm glad to be here with you and working on some interesting space holding for tonight. Sundays is normally going to be a show where we do hold space uh, for ourselves, for the collective, for whatever's going on out there. Um, I always do cards either a couple days in advance or as I'm thinking about it. And I kept it kept coming up in my personal cards too. Um, so it's really interesting because I thought normally we would just hold space for an event going on in the world or something we needed to kind of, wrap some good light around. And we'll still do that tonight as part of our thing. But the really interesting thing that came up was boundaries. It's been in, I'd say, 3 or 4 of my readings now as one of the sub headers, just for myself and what we were going to do tonight. So, and then I had a week of being pulled into stuff that normally I wouldn't engage in, actually. I would normally completely disengage and let it play out. But no, I didn't this week. I really got into it. It caused a lot of stress for me. And I just realized I let down my guard and all my energetic boundaries and just I don't know. Yeah, and I got trampled on for it, like physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So yeah, I think it's just coming up that we need to be very cautious about what we're doing, what we're saying, and as much as it might be that feeling of I don't want to say retreating or sticking your head in the sand. I think right now maybe we need to do a little bit of that because getting pulled into the melee isn't good. So yeah, I know it really kind of messed me up this week. I was already stressed out with everything with my pooch, um, and now that he's fine, I'm starting to like come down a bit, and but realizing that that took a lot out of me and it was a lot of stress, and not necessarily needed. So yeah, so just we're going to talk about boundaries tonight, but what we're going to talk about with boundaries is that these are energetic boundaries. So this isn't it could I mean it definitely can be in terms of relationships and things like that, but I think it's really coming down that it's your like what is your energy and where are you putting it? Um and are you letting other things deplete it by getting caught up in stories and games and all the crazy amount of energy that's going on right now. So, like, is it depleted by social media and news? Like, a relationship can do this, work can do this. Are we just working, working, working? And then again, society. So, it's really important that we put up these boundaries. And I think we just pay lip service to that sometimes. And we're like, and we'll do it once and then think everything's fine. But it's almost like it needs to be a daily practice, much like meditation or part of your meditation. So you need to put up these boundaries about energetically what you're going to allow to come in and out of your time and space. Like, how do you want to be treated? So, and what is going to be your line? What's your intention with your boundaries? Like, do you need to just be left alone for a little while? That might just be a temporary energy you put in place is, you know what, I'm not doing well with all of this stuff coming at me, and I just need to put myself in my little bubble, and that's all right. And that's not, you know, for anyone to judge or condemn. This is all about us and you, and what do you need? You know, we don't often ask ourselves that. So again, part of this is like anything. We need to sit down and just, you need to take the time to understand your intentions and understand where you might be getting depleted. So the meditation we're going to do tonight is sort of focused around that. Again, it's going to be a really quick one because I want you to be able to take that process. And if you can't come on and tune into this, but it's a really quick, easy sort of like remembrance of what we did so that you can come back into it, and then you can just access that at any time in your day by taking 5 minutes or less to take a breath, go into that not deep meditative state, but at least that meditative state where you can, again, like assess what's going on, take a minute, take a breath, and recenter yourself. So a big thing too is that, you know, it's really important right now that we need to conserve our energy for ourselves. And there are going to be, I don't want to say battles, but you're going to have things through your day that you're going to have to go up against. And so you might need to reserve your energy for that. But if you're just depleting it on huge distractions and all of that and getting lost, we want to start this process of not being lost in our day. And the day ends and we're like, what happened to that day? And why do I feel so depleted and so beaten up? Like sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I feel beaten up by the day's events. So as much as I'm like teaching this, I'm also learning this. That's always the, you know, the teacher and the guru and the student are always like this constant circle. So I'm also learning a lot from this process. So we'll learn together. But I'm just going to check my notes here. Okay, so one of the big things is I would encourage you to meditate. And as you're doing this meditation, specifically around energetic boundaries, the place that I want you kind of listening is not necessarily to your head or your heart, but checking in with your gut instinct. It's not the easiest to do, but just if you just verbalize that that's what you want to do, and immediately I think you'll find that like when you ask about certain things, people, events, relationships, all of that, is that as soon as you get a yes or a no or a red flag, then you know. And so we just then have to be brave enough to be like, okay, this is what's making this hard for me. Is this something I really need to let go? So it's also about starting to be honest with ourselves, which is so hard because none of us, it's like, especially when it comes down to lifelong relationships, obligations, habits, any of that stuff. When you start to get the red flags about it, like you really have to start to like be in a process of letting that go, because you know instantly it's not good for you, but we keep doing it. So yeah, it's, you know, it's the work, it's what we came here to do. Anyway, definitely for this meditation, I did design it to be quick so that you can either come back and do this quick, and that way this video is only about 20-30 minutes. You don't have to listen to me, or you can fast forward to the meditation part. And then if I get enough feedback from you guys and you like just the meditation part, I'll record something really quick that you can come in and jump into the playlist and use. Yeah. So again, go with your gut, but sit down. That's the big thing. Sit down for 5 minutes in your day when stuff's getting too chaotic, and set up your boundaries. And this is also like on a spiritual level too. It's like, what am I willing to, like, what energies am I allowing to come in that I don't even know about? So set up your boundaries for all of those things. But it does require you to do some work. All right. So we're going to do some cards first because I like the cards. You know I do. I think we'll do a couple and just see what we get. Okay, this was on top because I was looking at this to see the definition, but it does say boundaries. It just slipped back out. But I'm not going to read it because I know I was just looking at it. It feels like but it's just like, hey, I'm going to reinforce this message. Anyway, let's do a couple other cards from this deck. It's pretty funny, actually. Ooh, there's two there. We're going to take these two. Normally I take three, but this is telling me just to do two. Okay, so we have Hawthorn, which is balance and the elemental kingdom. Yeah, again, this is just really saying, like, we need to get our balance back. So obviously the best way to do that sometimes is just get out in nature. Depending on your belief systems, the elemental kingdom is our gnomes, our fairies, that sort of thing, which some people may not believe in. So we're just going to leave that there. But just know, again, this is just a card calling you out to nature. That's a great place to find balance. And the other card, oh my God, seriously, I did put this away. I'm not even kidding you. It's Nettle again. And the card is boundaries and caution. Seriously, you're probably thinking at this point, she's making this up. She set this all up. Okay, now I got to draw some more cards. I got to draw my third one because I feel like I'm not faking this. I really am not. Bathroom. I know this is a funny card. It makes me laugh every time, but it's cleanse and clarify. It's exactly what we're trying to say. So cleanse out as those clarity things come in where you get that red flag or that, like, this is a no-go or this is a yes or a no. It's either a yes or no. There's no gray area. And there's no maybe. And I'll come back to it later. If it comes up yes, then it's a yes. If it comes up no, then it's a no. It's a red flag. You've got your clarity, and then we're going to cleanse it out. And that's exactly what this meditation we're going to do is all about. So we are going to do 3 more cards, though, because there's another deck that I do want to use. All right. So these cards are the Mandala or Yantra cards. They usually have pretty good sort of advice. So we're going to see what they say. Sort of a path for us. Okay. Integrity, being authentic. It's a hard one sometimes. Again, because it requires a lot of things like speaking your truth and putting yourself out there. And yeah, no matter what other people say about you. So it's just having this integrity. I think this is just telling us to, again, sit down, listen to your boundaries, your intentions, all of that, and know that that's you. You'll see in this meditation. This is leading up to this meditation. But yeah, we just need to authentically be ourselves. And I know that's super hard sometimes because people aren't kind and people are not accepting of, well, not even accepting, but there's so much polarity right now that, like, you're right, I'm wrong, you're right. And so it's really hard to just exist and not make those judgments, right? But this is good. The next card is love, returning. So we're just returning to love. It's a bit of a process, but we're getting there. And so I think the bottom line too is if you are having problems setting your intentions or your boundaries, always go back to love. Just sit in that frequency in your heart chakra of love and see where that puts you. It might put you into this place where then the intentions and your answers start coming more fully. So just I always like to retreat into love. Why not? It's really good for us. And the last one is exhale or surrendering. Same thing. Breathing, taking a minute. This is all just leading us into this meditation to say we just need to take those moments, pull ourselves back, and just listen for that answer of what is right for us. What is our gut instinct telling us? What is your divine guidance telling you that you need in that moment? Not what other people think, not what's being put on us by society or work or a relationship, but actually taking that minute to just focus, breathe, and let those answers come to you. So again, this meditation is going to help us out perfectly with that. So before we start that meditation, I'm just going to give us a little clearing here. I'm just going to energetically clear our space. So just know that this helps to cleanse and clear us all, not just me in this space, but extends out to you. Just take some nice, good in and out deep breaths, starting to center yourself, getting grounded, getting into a comfortable position within your place so that we can just do this quick meditation. At the end, I am going to just play the bowls for a minute. I don't know what the sound's going to be like on this. It's probably going to be crap, but we'll see what happens. And then the very end, I'll ding the bells 3 times, and that's your cue to start to come back into this space. So we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to get you to close your eyes and then make sure you're comfortable in your space, centered in your body, and in a position where you're feeling safe, secure, and comfortable. And we're going to start like we always do by breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. And we're going to do this 3 times at your own pace. Imagine that you are in a place that is your sanctuary, where it is quiet, safe, and you can be alone undisturbed. It might be a temple setting, or out in nature, or a room that you just consider comforting. Take in a deep breath and exhale. I want you now to say your name to yourself silently, just 1 time. Imagine now a circle of light around you. It can be in any color that appeals to you. Have this light extend 2 to 3 feet around you in all directions. Breathe. Now say your name again to yourself silently 3 times. And now take another breath. As we sit in this silence for a moment, begin to notice any thoughts that arise. If anything is not aligned to your intentions, we now ask to clear those thoughts from your field. All you need to do for this is to intend that these specific thoughts are energetically cleared from your field. Take a small breath as each is released. As they now flow outside that circle, know they cannot return. This barrier around you is your boundary that you have placed. Take one more breath and just ensure that your field is clear. Again, if anything surfaces, intend that it be cleared outside of that field of your bubble. And breathe. Whenever you begin to feel these energies intruding close to your space again, remember in that moment to close your eyes, energize your circle of light all around you, to take 2 or 3 or more breaths, and know that you in this moment have reestablished your energetic force field. It repels these distractions and energy stealers from your field. Breathe. And now we're just going to sit in the silence in this clear, secure energy field. And just breathe. So continue to breathe. I'm going to play some sound and see how it works. And this is just to further clear that field of energy. Now take another good deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And before you come back into the space and open your eyes, once again, I want you to say your name 3 times. And now silently say to yourself, I am. Take a breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. So hopefully you're back feeling okay. So yeah, it's a quick little just sealing of energy, sealing your space so that you're not being bombarded by outside distractions or energies, and starting to put up those boundaries of energetically what you will allow in your space. I think it's a good practice. And like I said, normally these meditations on Sundays, we're going to be putting things out. So we're working on the collective, which we do say, deep prayer for right now. But it's also really important before we put ourselves out there that we work on ourselves first. So we're just going to get that little protection set up for us, and then we can go forward from here and help in energy or energetic ways to the planet and the collective. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for tonight. Although I'm being told to do one more card, but I gotta find what deck we're doing. I think it's this guy. Nope. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was the mermaids and dolphins, but apparently I've lost that deck. Anyway, okay. We're gonna do one card from here, which is there. Okay. It's Fire Guardian, which is Ignite Your Passion. So I feel like this is the next step from here. So let's get our container built and protected, and then we will do that. I'm going to put that for next week, but start looking at what your passion is, and we'll come to that. So I'm just doing what I'm told. 2 more cards. Too funny. You can't see that one. Trader. Sounds like it's not like a trader. Like exchange energy to create abundance. So yeah, that's another thing. Like make sure you're not giving your energy away to everybody. It's an exchange. It should be an exchange of some kind. And the last one is Druid, which is hold the space. It's Hold the Space Sundays. All right. Those were good. Those are nice little confirmations of where we're heading. I'm just going to move this incense before it lights up this whole thing. Let's do 3 to work your light, because I kind of swore these would be anywhere from 30 to 33 minutes. That's 33. Anyway, I hope you're having a really good night. I hope that this week hasn't been super hard on you as well. Just going to take these out as they pop out. And I'll read them. And 2 and 1. So we're done. Okay. Yeah. I hope that we're able to all keep continuing to get good sleep. First card, deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. So yeah, we're still in that energy. I think a lot of us are like, we're gung-ho to get things changed and get going. But at the moment, I think we still have a little bit of work to do on ourselves. And so it's okay to just pull back and take those moments to renew yourself. Okay, the next one is share your voice, which is come out of the cave, persecution, expression. This is kind of a powder keg right now. Right now, sharing your voice can get you into a lot of trouble. Just like I said, there's so much polarity on who's right and who's wrong. Yeah. You know what? I think this is more just like in the moment, if you look, sometimes it's just about looking at the pictures. I'm going to put that closer. She's just in the cave looking out across the water, onto the shore. On the shore, which might be hard to see, is the pyramids, some of the constellations of, it looks like Orion actually with the belt. So, and she's kind of just sitting there contemplating. So, yeah, I think that's the message in that is it's important that you share your voice. It's important that you're heard. But maybe take that moment to sit in the cave, reflect, and then share your voice. Be sure you're saying what you want to say. I kind of screwed that up this week. I should have read this earlier. Taken that advice. Anyway, and the last card is yes. Again, this one for me is just saying, it is just the time now. We need these moments to, it's okay to do this. So reflect and renew, and then, formulate your intention, your boundaries, all of those things, and put them all into place, and then share your voice. So it's not like a share your voice, don't think about anything, then come back and do these steps because you missed them. So try to go in that order if you can. And then, after certain amounts of time, you just might need to take a break and relax. And it's a funny little time right now, which is okay. I mean, honestly, we came here to do this, and it's not the easiest job. But it's really important that we keep in check with ourselves, where we're headed, what we want to see going on in our lives, not just the world, but in our lives as well, right? So it's more important that we take care of our first needs. I always say, put your oxygen mask on first. So you can't help anybody else unless you help yourself first. So we'll leave it there. Have a wonderful night. Love you guys. Good night.